Rise Mzansi is hosting a 3-day People's Manifesto convention at Constitutional Hill in Johannesburg. Key policies will be discussed and will subsequently form part of its manifesto. About 800 delegates are said to be in attendance, including civil society organizations, business and academia. Let's listen into what's happening as Songezo Zibi, the leader of Rise, is addressing them.
The Constitution. But when they wanted to build the Gautrain, there was no problem. But they ate from the Gautrain. So the things that are important to them, there is no problem. The Constitution seemingly allows them to do. When they're supposed to do them for the South African people, they say the Constitution is a problem. They are liars. So we must take in where we are, because this is a very important place in South Africa. This venue is very important. And in the nation-building discussion, we will talk about ways in which we can reconnect with meaning, so that June 16, 1976 is not Youth Day. It is June 16, 1976 Day, so that we can commemorate the bravery and commitment of young people to freedom and not have parties. You can't have parties when so many young people don't have work. So thank you again for coming. It was in October last year that South Africans from all over the country gathered in Braamfontein for the Mobilizing People's Power workshop. Some of you were there, many not. But it was the first time people started talking about the people's movement for change. On 26 November, people spread across 6 venues. In Johannesburg, about 500 people. In Mahikeng, in Mthatha, in Durban, and East London took a firm decision to start the Rise Mzansi campaign. The state of the country today, as Dr. Lehotla showed, shows that this was the right decision. The government is running out of money because even though we are borrowing hundreds of billions each year, the money is wasted or stolen. South Africa now pays nearly 30 billion rand per month in interest alone. We pay more per year servicing loans than we do on public health or higher education and training. That's South Africa today. We have had load shedding for 14 years, 16 if you count the 2 years that it wasn't so bad. But if you look at Eskom, they do not have a permanent chief executive or finance director. Eskom owes nearly 400 billion and spends more money servicing its loans than it does on maintaining our electricity infrastructure. The same is true for Transnet. Transnet now transports fewer goods than it did in 1994. Transnet pays over 1 billion a month to service loans made during the state capture years. This is money that could be used to fix the railway system, maintain locomotives, and make sure that the economy grows so that people can find work. Instead of feeding people who are now dying of hunger and depression, we are repaying loans on money that is being stolen by ANC cadres and their friends in business. And you know what? They are still stealing it today as we sit here. So today we have gone backwards. Unemployment is higher today than it was 20 years ago. There are more unemployed young people today than 20 years ago. There are more unemployed graduates today than at any point in South African history. Nearly half of all children who start school never finish because of poverty, hunger, stunting, drug abuse, and other problems. A child born today only has half a chance of reaching university and even less chance of ever getting a job. Patients in Gqeberha, where I worked for 10 years, die in pain because doctors don't have needles to drain internal bleeding. The Provincial Health Department does not pay supplies on time. And so about a month and a half ago, the sheriff arrived to take the furniture, cars and equipment away while patients waited with little hope for care. In South Africa today, mothers take their own lives after poisoning their children because they are just too hungry and desperate. Many of you know I'm from the Eastern Cape, so I talk about it often. Mthatha is the nearest big town to my hometown of Mzansi. This once beautiful town has fallen apart. Business people are shot dead in broad daylight. Armed criminals rob the store nearest to the police station so that they can show that they can do whatever they like. Businesses have to pay protection fees to gangs. This is true in Khayelitsha, in other areas of the Cape Flats, and in Matatiele, and many other places where South Africans live. We are living in a mafia state now. This is South Africa today. A country where people tell you in Rustenburg and Tabazimbi about the money they need to pay to secure jobs, or that women have to sleep with men in municipalities to get a job or to get a tender. We know this is true. It is a country where the police and ministers are captured by criminal elements, and the president keeps questionable money stuffed in his couch. And then Parliament protects them because they do not respect us. I can go on and on, but we do not have time. People are hungry. Children are dying. South Africa is falling apart. The situation is urgent. The question is, what is to be done? We are here to craft new answers to that question. We are here because Rise Mzansi's volunteers and supporters have decided that it is impossible to get better results while keeping the same old tired politicians and their political parties in place. These people have no energy, no ideas, and no credibility. We need new leaders, and we need new politics, because we need new answers. The second thing we must do is to recognize that we have the power to decide what future we deserve. We also have the power to make it happen, and we will make it happen. Nowhere is it written that we must submit our dreams for approval to people who do not care about us. We must decide to be free in our own minds so that we can be free in real life.
All right, Songezo Zibi, Rise Mzansi leader, addressing delegates at their 3-day policy conference that is beginning there. We'll keep you updated on that.